furniture, wood, other rubbish. I've seen it myself. I've seen it. Looks like some kids just collected stuff on, when they put the trash out on the streets for pickup and they took it over there to build a fort. So the person is asking who's responsible to clean this up. Well, it depends on exactly where it's located.
Technically, it's not ours, but
Yeah.
we probably take a look at it.
But in the past, when there had been 4 Peaks, wasn't cleanup for our landscape?
Just clean
Yeah.
up till January 1st, they were being paid to take care of it, so they should have, but they
I mean, there's a
didn't.
reclining chair.
What's that?
There's a reclining chair out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't lift that to take to the trash can.
I think it should be,
Yes,
you know, made
couple
clear
of
to
knives.
whatever landscaping company we use in the future, that stuff like that needs to be hauled away, and that's part of their service.
I agree.
PRM, or would PRM want to contact 4 Peaks?
Oh, yes,
Thanks.
And
Next.
know what household they came from, they should be notified that they can't do that.
Well, if we know.
It's random kids.
Yes, Kim? Yes?
The landscape company has cut down trees and left stumps. Do you plan on?
You answered that.
Yeah, I thought so, okay.
The stuff.
The Casita and RV sports courts, construction on lots 12 and 13 respectively is elevated by approximately 3 feet above this person's yard elevation, which is lot 6. Address is given. The Casita RV towers over the backyard and its porch faces towards my house. Person on its porch can easily see over the fence, over the wall due to the built-up elevation, and it's invading privacy. Second point, the sports court orientation and elevation and lighting is such that a person is intruding on privacy. What's going to be done to resolve these problems?
I believe that's part of our executive committee session that we're going to
So we would
set.
have to review the ARC plans that were submitted for these 2 lots.
Would it be helpful
city-
for everybody
the city
in this room
approvals.
to give
The
their
city
opinion on that?
approvals.
Yeah, the ARC approvals and you sign them.
But does it matter if there's an invasion of privacy though? I mean,
I
what
would
do you
think
do
so.
if your privacy
I
is
wouldn't-
invaded?
Well, if
Yeah.
they're not built by code too,
Would be
they
upset.
gotta go.
Especially if it was a
They
damper
probably
on your
are,
property.
but that doesn't stop the problem.
We went down and pulled the drawings on the Snows lot. That's the one with the,
That's the sports court.
the sport part.
Right.
And we laid out this roll of drawings this big and spent an hour going through them with the city. Unfortunately, that sport court is on those drawings, and the city did approve them.
Right, but it's not
The city,
per our guidelines.
the city allows 16 feet high and certain shielding and
And
whatnot.
I'm not complaining about that.
Well, but ours only allow 10 feet high.
Right, I saw that, but I'm not, all I'm saying is that in the evenings when they turn their lights on and there's a team, 2 teams of people playing basketball, they face my house and look into my house.
The lighting, there are a number of light fixtures that supposedly only aim down and whatnot. You can ask the city code compliance to check those lights to see if
It's not
they.
the light's not the problem, it's the fact that I can see people from their
Well, in our-
belly up. And they're all looking into my backyard, they're all looking into my house. Do I have to put curtains on all my windows and never be able to look out my windows again?
Is there a difference between that and a 2-story house next door to you, or
I
the way
think
they
you
should
should
look
walk
at
around
that?
naked.
Sorry?
I think you should walk around naked with all your lights on.
I've been asked.
I think you should contact Channel 3 News.
I mean, to be honest, there's something in the guidelines, I got them off the website, that says they should put a screen on so I don't have a screen recording.
Chris,
And then put a screen
on the ARC committee. is
I
approving
think what's
that.
happened down there is a travesty.
So what about having them just put a screen on it? I mean, I'm talking about solving the problem, not burning buildings down.
And
And digging up sports
we'll
courts.
address
I'm not
this.
talking-
This involves a homeowner issue and complaint. We will address this in the executive session and we'll.
That,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I mean,
Can I go to that?
he's got an ARC member sitting right behind him that approved it, so I mean.
But we'll tread carefully. You don't know what was approved and what wasn't approved, right?
Well, it was
The
built.
U-Haul was
Yeah, we
built.
were on the ark.
Just because it was built doesn't mean it was approved, and I think someone on the board can attest to that too.
Okay, well.
So we need to check in to see if it was approved or not.
Yeah, we will
I was
discuss
already
this.
asked specifically.
We'll discuss this
I can't
in,
hear
we'll
him.
discuss this in executive session.
I
We
wanna
can't
hear
talk
his
about a
answer.
homeowner.
He's answering a question.
So AAM had contacted members of the ARC, Paul and myself, and Sandy, who was there, specifically regarding the court that you're referring to. I won't mention any names because
You're not
Right,
supposed to.
that's fine.
but certain things of that were not approved by the architecture review committee. There was a pad that was approved, it's within all the guidelines that are approved by our CCNRs and the city. There's other things that were outlined that were never approved. So that's specifically stating heights of lights, perimeter fencing, things of that, were never put on those things. So,
They're violating a lot of things, I just want a screen up, so I don't have to look at people when they're playing
and I
basketball.
understand that absolutely, John, but to your point, you're dead wrong. We never approved that. So,
What
just
do you mean, you never saw those drawings?
we saw the drawings. Now, the drawings do not indicate those specific things that John is referring to.
So were they, okay, so if they were built not according to what the ARC said that they were allowed to build, were there fines?
That's up to you guys. That's not, has nothing to do with us.
I don't
That's not the
have to say anything
architecture
on that.
review committee. That has to do with if there's a homeowner complaint, they address that to the board, just like it's being done right now. The board makes a decision on how to go forward, and then they go for it.
The complaint is to
It's not
be
the
heard.
architecture review committee to go around and say,
This
these
is
guys
a-
are getting out.
The homeowner that's in question isn't present here.
No, they are.
I move that you guys talk about it
In executive session, which was what we proposed originally.
Can I submit just some paperwork I have that outlines
Yeah,
some of the-
absolutely.
some of the statements in the documentation, some photographs?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, next question.
Is PRM associated with affiliated fee arrangements? No. Thank you.
Can you explain, Paul, or Sue, explain what that is exactly?
All right.
Or is
Well,
it?
I think it's an important question. It set us apart from a lot of the other companies for many years. Our industry in Arizona is not licensed to regulate. So we set our own standards over the years. And one of the things we've always felt is as a fiduciary responsibility to our clients. We want to go out and make sure we get the best value for every dollar spent. And on competitive bids, make sure we're getting good contractors, so regardless of who the board will choose, you get a good value. Many of the other companies, over many years, have had a policy of trying initially under the table bid rigging and kickbacks. And we've walked away from that for quite a long time. And now we found out later, a number of years, I guess recently, they've committed those bid rigging and kickback agreements to written agreements. And they call them affiliation fee agreements. And they have many vendors and contractors who enter those agreements. And I've never been able to get one, but my understanding is that the purpose of the agreement is that the members of the board are never to find out about the agreement. And if someone disclosed that agreement, apparently they would be liable to be sued as breach of the agreement. The concept behind the agreement is they overcharge you by 10 or 20% for virtually every service. And then that's withheld or somehow kicked back to the management company without anyone knowing. And that's now become affiliation fee agreements. And the big companies want to tell all the boards and members, this is the industry, it's to your advantage. You only want to work with people that have these agreements with us. And not your group, but they have a lot of people that go along with them. Like the puppy in the backyard, the back window of the car, just nodding yes. And they make a lot of money that way.
And one of the other problems with that is if there's ever a dispute between you and your contractor, I guarantee the managers will decide the contractor, because that's constant money for them. Every single year that contract gets renewed, they get a new commission. So it's really not big rigging, it's like a commission setup.
But it's wrong.
And it is wrong.
It's
And
completely
you
wrong
have
in our
to pay
opinion
more
because
for
you
all
hire
the
us to be a
services.
fiduciary to make sure you get the best value. And they're pitched to us because they've asked for many years if we could join them or sell out to them. So their concept is, why wouldn't you want to make 20% on top of the association's expenses? You'll be very wealthy very quickly. And my answer has always been quite bluntly, because I'm not a bank robber. And essentially, bank robbery is more honest. Everyone knows they're being robbed. But their concept is they'll never figure it out. You'll be able to steal from them forever. So that's why I think it's an important question. It's a big issue for us. And honesty and integrity is important because that's really how we build our business and grow by word of mouth. To me, that's much more important than, hey, I got something over from them, I'm getting kickbacks from everyone. And I can't even respect the vendors and contractors that come to us and say, hey, do you have affiliation fee agreement for us to sign? We say, never mind. There's other people. So that's basically
All right, no soliciting signs at the entrance. Would that be the entrance
We
to
had-
communities?
Oh, we need put no soliciting.
Someone's suggesting to put them, I think.
I'll address that.
Okay.
We had a problem with people coming in and it was dark out. They were knocking on our doors, soliciting. They said they're from Chicago. Holidays were coming up. We called the police. By the way, we called the police a couple times for things to come out and they'd never show up. But for this instance, they said there's no law in Peoria that stops anybody from soliciting. But if you have a community and you have a sign out there at the entrance of a community that says no solicitors, that's our sign that says you can't come in here.
Do you think they'll honor it?
Some do.
Some do.
And I actually approached these people in the van when they're picking up their people, which I shouldn't have done, but I did. And I told them,
I was out of town by the way. I had no control over it.
I was chasing them down my car trying to get their license plate, which they stopped and did a little roundabout. And one of the guys got out, and they're all color, not that that matters, but it's still a little scarier when they're in the neighborhood after dark soliciting. And the guy actually, on Maggie's doorstep, was actually on his knees like this when she opened up her door. He was selling cleaning products. So if we put a sign out there, we have something to stand on. I told them never to come back to this neighborhood, that we have a strong neighborhood watch, which we don't. And if they're not to come in here, and I don't think they'll come back. But nevertheless, if we had a sign, I would have had more to stand on.
Okay, I've never seen one. If you see a couple, take a picture, force us
I
to.
actually wanted to take a picture of the back of the van. It was a temporary plate. But they surprised me by.
No, I'm talking about the
Oh, no
signs
solicitation
that you wanted.
I
They-
don't see those signs.
I
No.
think that'd be a good idea. Yeah, I've seen them at people's doors. but
Yeah,
not-
I've never seen it community-wide either, so.
And they may have them at gated communities.
communities.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy them. And maybe we should get a neighborhood watch, which the police work with you.
Yep.
We had a hard time getting police to come out for anything.
Okay.
All right, and then you were noting to reestablish RV parking as allowed for 7 to 8 years in neighborhoods.
Yes. When we moved in thinking that we could put our RV inside our house. Because a lot of the people, when they moved here, were able to do that. They actually put driveways in for it. They actually expanded their gates so they could do that. And then all of a sudden, somebody came along and said, oh, you can't do that anymore. And it doesn't prove the value of your home when you can do that.
Unless somebody parks the Griswold trailer. I'm with you. I mean, why do we have RV gates and why do we have RV driveways if you can't, I agree, but
Some regulations.
That's the
Is there something we
rule.
can do to put that in writing? That people can have trailers and boats as long as they're in good condition and they're
Exactly.
not
There's-
a hideous eyesore, or is that something us as a community can maybe?
it's,
It's not an
Right.
address.
if anything below the fence line, by the way, you can't have.
But that's what I was saying, that the CCNR is saying that you can't have anything above the fence.
Right.
But they did.
Right, so that keeps you then from putting your RV or.
Precisely what the rule is, and in order to change that rule,
I don't know.
that would require the 70% vote or 75, whatever it is.
But
the
an
whole-
amendment.
It would require, the amendment requires the vote of 75% because that is a CCNR.
I thought
That-
No,
The amendment doesn't.
What about the
Sorry?
Change the CCNR 75%,
Yeah.
but an
To amend is
amendment.
a board vote.
Well, to amend it to go, okay,
Yeah.
if we're amending it from you can't park an RV to parking an RV, that's not an amendment, that's a change. That's a
No,
change in
right,
your
Yeah, you
CCNR.
need 75%, yeah.
An amendment
And
would
it's gonna be
be,
hard to do.
I only allow blue cars, okay, now we're gonna let blue, red, and yellow cars.
Well, I know that a lot of our surrounding neighbors are very interested in that. Is that something that we could put together on like a mass email and maybe have like an online vote,
I
like
think we're
respond,
gonna have an
like?
answer for you by the
I
next
was asking,
meeting.
Yeah.
give us a little more.
It's
background.
Give us some time to do the research and take the documents.
It's probably gonna be a door to door.
And then you
Because-
mentioned,
Because when we personally moved in, there was people that had stuff parked everywhere, boats, trailers, and that was an attraction to our community. That was something that we wanted in a house, and as soon as we move in and try to do it, it's lawyer.
Yeah, I may be in the minority. We moved here under the impression that they weren't allowed. And so we didn't want to have, an RV park next to our house. My understanding is that that's where the CCNRs are now. And then that's where the storage kind of goes from there as well. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a split issue, but you're right. I think it would have to go out to the homeowners for those if we're going to change it.
Can you keep an eye on the time, because I don't wanna get you in trouble.
and then you mentioned the neighborhood watch.
We got a couple more of this.
Yeah.
Let's push it
And
on.
a backfill against walls to shore up.
Yeah, when we were doing the landscaping, apartment landscaping, I know there's some back walls, like our wall, our view fence was actually going to fall from the deterioration and back. Nobody ever backed up it properly.
That's been an
She
issue
brought
for
this
like
up
2
several
years
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, we have to, never finished.
That was the one where they had the erosion under their wall.
Right.
Yeah.
Was that taken care of?
It was not taken care of, but it was voted on to do
We
that.
did vote to
Yes.
take care
Because
of
they
that.
thought it was her water line dripping or something, but it
Well,
was
the way
really other
the way their
stuff.
yard was sloping, they blamed them and it came out. We just said, we're gonna fill it, it's on the outside, it's on the common wall. And we did vote on that. And I'm sorry, Ken, before you go on to the next one, I know I'll get the minutes on that. Before we run out of time, I
Yeah,
did
what did
mention
you
we're
promise
gonna
here?
talk about your basin, please. You wanted to talk about your basin?
The dry well.
The dry well, yes.
The cost, if it's astronomical, we just have to.
I think you probably have dry wells on your property. You probably have dry wells already on your property. It's a matter of details.
My son worked 30 years in the mosquito control, and I don't have no tiny babies, but I have 9-year-old, 10-year-old.
I understand.
Okay.
So I think,
And if I can't sit on my computer at all,
so with regard to for the board, with regard to the dry wells, there's a company in town and there's no charge for them to come to the property and locate your dry wells if you have them and inspect them. And they'll inspect them at no cost. And if they're full of sludge, that's how they get. They need maintenance.
I'll make a motion to have that company come out.
They're called Torrent
Torrent
Resources.
Well, we don't need a motion to have them come off for free. We just have them come
Well,
off.
I want it marked in the minutes.
She's
Should
the
be
one that
done.
set the 3 trees.
Yeah,
Okay, next.
I mean, there has to be dry wells on a property
Yep.
that size, with that much common area, it has to be.
The person that was asking this just left, so we can save it, I guess, for the next one. She's inquiring about a utility trailer parked in a driveway.
We'll have to get back.
Mhm.
Is that it?
That's it?
Nope, one more, sorry. The CCNR state every home should have 2 trees in the front yard. There are homes with no trees or only 1 that they've noticed for almost 2 years now. What are you doing about this?
Is that a requirement?
Yes, it is, 2 trees.
So we'll have to enforce that,
Yep.
start noting that people don't have 2 trees.
And like any of the other rules, if a violation is reported, if somebody makes a report and says, this home should have 2 trees, it doesn't, it's looked at. We don't, at least I never walked around and said, that house doesn't have 2 trees. If we receive a complaint against our CCNRs or any other rules, we investigate it. So if you have something that you feel is in violation, please report it. Get it to PRM, we'll look at it, and we will make sure.
However, knowing that 2 trees is required, and a lot of communities have that, we'll tell that to our inspector,
driver.
and they'll start noticing you don't have.
Well, I
2 trees.
think that's the issue. I wrote it.
Yeah.
I think that's the issue is that
you know, I throw a towel over my fence because something's drying, I get a nasty gram on it, and then I've called them, and they say, well, we have to see it. It's not like someone moved trees. It's not like,
No,
there's
there's
these
no
here today,
trees.
gone tomorrow.
No,
These trees just didn't suddenly move today and they're back tomorrow. So,
You know what, though, we're gonna
It's just
have
laziness.
our inspector is gonna notice a lot of these things, because that's what he's trained to do, and like
You
you
give us
said.
notes and we put it on.
Then, if anybody else wants to supplement that with reports of their own, please do.
If I could just ask, because of the inconsistencies that have been debated in these meetings for the last year and go way beyond anything for most of the people that lived here, please don't take any kind of action without a real assessment of what's really going on. Because this issue of RV parking, you walk the community today, there's all kinds of boats that are visible from the street. There's sheds that are visible from the street. I don't care about any of that stuff. It may be for somebody else. And let's not start going after people for violations when it's just been common law for years, right? So let's just be careful.
Well, that's what we're working
Please.
with the board, is what they want us to enforce, but, I mean, I think a minimum landscape requirement is,
It's pretty black.
it's pretty black.
It hasn't been enforced for a decade. So let's not start.
It's been pick and choose. It's been a pick and choose what's been enforced.
But let's have a discussion before we start randomly starting enforcing it, right?
So maybe properly,
I know.
cite the owner and have a civil conversation before giving fines and lawyer fees and all this.
Yeah, the
stuff.
board was never addressed
Yeah.
when people were sent fines or liens or anything else. It was just done,
Yeah, it's not gonna
and it
be-
wasn't communicated. And it's been that they've been picking and choosing on who, like, I've known we've been in my house for 8 years that people haven't had 2
Let me
trees.
explain something, is you either enforce it equally or you don't enforce it at all. You can't
Well,
well,
and people have been
enforce
discriminated
it,
against
like,
on
the
that.
idea that you're only gonna enforce it if somebody calls it in, to me,
Yeah,
is
that's-
you're looking for trouble.
That is trouble.
It has
That
to
is
be
trouble.
can't be selective enforcement, it has
Correct.
to be
Thank you.
That's the way it has to be.
Equal all their stuff.
That's the way we've always done it, and that's the way we always will do it.
So what you're basically saying then is if somebody is going to get a violation for weeds, you better be going through the entire community and getting everyone. All I'm trying to say is, unless you're there at night, we can hum all we want. Unless you're there at night, you don't know who is violating the parking rules or not.
I'm not talking about parking.
No, I'm talking about rules in general. You can't make a blanket statement like that you either enforce for all or none because you're not there 24 hours a day. You only get what's either reported or what you
I'll
observe.
sign up to drive around at night and
We
then
can,
go with your
we
driver.
can
if we
enforce
need to.
whatever the inspector sees as far as violations
I'll drive around.
of CCNRs.
I'm here 7
I'm
nights
not
a
gonna
week.
take up the parking issue, that's not gonna be something for me. The board wants to take that up, have at it, but that's not an argument we're gonna have with the homeowners.
Sue, who's the inspector?
Our inspector's name is Scott.
And Scott has friends, Scott has a company, who is
What do you mean,
Scott?
Scott? We hire inspectors, they work for us. His
What
name-
company does he work for?
PRN Association, ma'am?
Oh, so he works for you?
Yes, he works for us.
Okay, and you have more than one inspector or just one?
There's gonna be, well, we have 2, but there's gonna be 1 for your community.
Did he drive around today? Are you in pictures?
Yes.
You are compliance
I
on that.
yes, we did.
I think you saw me out in front of your house.
Yeah.
Not you, him.
That was me. Well,
No,
I
his silver
drove,
car?
if it was him, it was me, because he was in my car.
Well, you don't own a silver car, you own a white car.
No, I know, so that wasn't.
Sorry, we had none? Yes.
Yeah, how often does the inspector go by?
What is our contract say?
I thought it was once a month, is it?
Once a month, we're planning.
And we can supplement when people call things in, we can confirm that, check on the inspections. Or you can send in pictures too.
Yeah, okay.
But if you send in a picture, you have to sign it.
Yeah, you have to say.
Yes.
So you have to say who it came from, so if someone called our office, if you were to call in somebody's infraction, and then we send them a letter, I'm not talking about a fine, just a friendly letter. If they say, how did you find out about this? We can say it was observed by our inspector, but if someone calls it in, by the statutes, we have to give you a.
But we put that on the list and the inspector might note it the next time.
He might.
The inspector notes it for the.
It's just something.
So that's the law, that's
That's
the law, so you have to tell
That's the law.
Yeah.
They did not do that, because I specifically asked who complained, and they would not.
Well,
No, they would not.
That's law. I can't
I'm
help
just
it.
saying, I didn't know that was law.
But we can give that neighbor
That's not
coverage
what-
if our inspector subsequently observes and photographs in his own, then it's his observation.
Yeah, it all depends on how it takes down, but equal enforcement is the key.
The goal is to bring the community together, not
Not to divide.
tear everybody apart.
Well, I think the other different thing is, and
Equality.
this is another way maybe we work different, we have what we call a compliance team. So the inspector is just an observer,
He is
doesn't know
no
who lives where, doesn't care who lives where, just inspecting things that look wrong and things that may be on the list of concerns of the board or the homeowners. But then when he brings it back to our compliance team, people, and they're both bilingual, the concept of our violation enforcement is to communicate. So the idea of getting that first reminder letter is call in and talk to us. Bernice will talk to you, Miguel will talk to you. If you speak Spanish, they'll speak to you in Spanish. And the idea is to open the communication. So because we have that team available during business hours to talk to people, hopefully the people that are reasonable never get to the point of being fined. But in any large community, there's always some people that are going to be a bit unreasonable, and they may need the fine. But then once they get the fine, they can still talk to the compliance team. They can appeal the fine to the board. We present a law history report and photographs to the board. The board takes up an executive session and makes a decision.
The previous board in AAM ignored requests to appeal. And that's totally
I
in
think it's a big
violation of our
concern
safety
for
law.
a lot of homeowners.
We have,
And I know it is,
You're,
I know it is, and if it makes you feel any better, what I have to say is, you know, I understand AAM's shortcomings, but truthfully, the way they do it is not such a good system, because to expect one community manager to be able to deal with all of these issues and give personal attention to everybody, it's just an unrealistic expectation. That's why we do ours a different way. That's why everybody in our office manages all the associations that we manage, so that when you call the office, nobody has to say, oh, I'm sorry, your manager's out. Oh, I'm sorry, you'll get a call back from your manager. Oh, your manager's out of town.
Hey, that would be an improvement.
But they also-
Yes. One person can help you, someone else can jump on the phone and look at your records and say, oh yeah, your payment history, whatever it is.
before we adjourn, we have one more. Yes.
Yeah, there was a comment earlier about trash in the desert. Changing the topic here real quick.
Yes.
So so the desert areas, is that going to be cleaned up when it has trash in it, or is that?
We can clean up human trash,
Okay,
yes.
so those construction lots behind my house, really next to lot 13, there's tons of trash in the desert. It's just, I think, just construction workers throwing bottles out there and wind blowing trash out there.
I'll even throw another thing out that's an eyesore. If you pull in on Spur, you've got that open lot that they have not done construction on yet. It is packed with weeds and trees. Somebody owns that lot, and they should be responsible for making sure that it's not. Because behind, in your area, Chris, the lot that's open is not infested.
On Spur?
On Spur. When
The
you
first
turn in
one?
on Spur, the very first lot on your left.
That's that investor guy. He actually owned all 4 of them that Chris bought, and he owned 3 or 4 on Spur.
And he should be
maybe-
responsible
and
for
maybe
keeping
some
those
over on Freedom. He owned about 10 lots.
He should be responsible.
But with the desert, somebody's gonna clean that up.
Yeah.
It's been that way since day one when I moved in. There's construction debris in that desert
I know
area. It's
exactly what
been
he's
there
talking about,
since
because I
day
cleaned
one,
up some
and
of it
nobody's ever cleaned it up.
myself, just because it's such an eyesore. But
And there's actually trees pushed over from, I think, tractors or whatever they used to bulldoze the lots way back in 2006. They're still dead and fell over in that area.
so
It's a
related to
mess.
junk piling, and extending of John's comment, one of the lots on Freedom Trail has had dumping on it. And there's been pallets of all kinds of construction materials, and there are at least 8 or 10 piles of concrete and all kinds of stuff that's being.
One of those was cleaned up here about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Just the one on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it's like
But
the
there's
second
still
lot
others.
in on Freedom Trail.
Yeah,
Okay.
the side on the right-hand side, it's just cleaned up.
Okay.
Yeah, the one on
thanks.
the right hand, I witnessed it, they were cleaning it up.
I followed him.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Please.
Just want to PRN to make sure they understand that
There's an area right here on Buckhorn and Alyssa, there's a circle, there's like house